You used me?
I thought she used you.
Well, no, I used her to use you for you using me.
Sounds like a used person a lot.
This is the lowest.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Zach Morris was the worst.
You're staring.
What you did was disrespectful to the class and to your ancestors.
I'm not gonna listen to this.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most terrible things Zach did during his Bayside days. What do you think is the absolute worst thing Zach Morris ever did? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, when he faked terminal illness to win a kiss.
Just remember, Mikey, Stevie's all mine.
In the Saved by the Bell precursor, Zach makes a bet with his friend Nikki that he can get a kiss from Stevie, an ex-student turned pop star, who returns for her farewell concert. Establishing himself as the school's trickster from the very beginning, he plans to win the bet by pretending he's dying. Somehow, almost everyone is fooled by Zach's ploy, except Miss Bliss, who sees straight through his deceit.
Life and death are nothing to fool around with. Do you realize the pain you've caused everybody, Mr. Belding?
Although he technically loses the bet, an undeserving Zach still manages to steal a kiss. And as always, Zach seems to learn his lesson. That is, until the credits roll.
It's true, Nikki, I kissed her. I kissed her. I'm serious, I kissed her. Look, I'll even ask her, I kissed her.
Number 9, when he dumped a girl for saving him.
I'm here to try out for the wrestling team.
But you're a girl.
Gosh, you're quick.
In order to impress the new girl, Christy, Zach enlists Jesse's help to overturn a rule that prevents women from joining the wrestling team. Under the ruse of an interview, Zach saunters into the girls' locker room and only leaves once Christy agrees to go out with him.
What kind of guy does Christy Barnes like?
Oh, I don't know.
Perhaps the kind of guy who would sneak into a girl's locker room?
During their date, Zach almost gets into a fight, but after Christy steps in, the only thing that gets bruised is his ego. His behavior almost leads Christy to quit the team, but he convinces her that he's the one with the problem, and we'd have to agree.
So the point is, a guy should protect the girl. I couldn't handle it when you had to protect me.
Number 8, when he exploited his friends for profit.
Well, Lisa says she can make 19 bracelets in a day, but she isn't gonna have time to sleep.
So?
When money is involved, we can practically see the dollar signs light up in Zach's eyes. When the gang decides to sell friendship bracelets for a school project, he takes over, causing the group to split. He then proceeds to overwork Lisa, refuses to pay anyone for their labor, and even sells Screech for some extra bucks.
Here's your friendship bracelets, and here's your friend for an hour.
His own greed brings about the downfall of friendship forever, but he plots to sabotage his friend's rival business too. He's such an awful friend that it's hard to understand why they're so quick to forgive him.
Zach, let's be friends again.
Really? You mean you all forgive me?
Number 7, when he told everyone that Slater was dying.
I want to hug Kelly with both arms.
Oh, Slater, sit down.
I can't watch this.
Slater finally feels at home at Bayside, but when jealousy rears its ugly head, Zach stumbles across the perfect opportunity to eliminate his competition. Zach tells his friends that Slater is dying, and the only known treatment is in Hawaii.
Maybe by pretending we don't want him around anymore?
Oh, that is crazy.
Crazy? Well, sure, it's crazy. But if you care about Slater at all, you treat him like dirt.
He manages to convince them all to shun Slater so that he'll feel unwanted and leave. Even though at first they're apprehensive, eventually they decide to overlook Zach's penchant for diabolical plans and play along, leaving Slater to believe that everyone really hates him. It's only when Kelly makes an unexpected announcement that Zach's whole twisted scheme starts to unravel.
What do you mean, take care of me?
Well, I couldn't bear for you to live the last days of your life alone.
What?
It's all right, Slater. Zach told us everything.
Number 6, when he body shamed his date.
Auctioning off dates is sexist flesh peddling and should be strictly forbidden.
All in favor?
If a girl is willing to laugh at your misogynistic jokes, then chances are she's probably into you. So it was no surprise when Wendy placed the winning bid on Zach during Bayside's highly inappropriate dating auction. Zach initially has his eyes set on someone else, but when Wendy is victorious, he barely even tries to hide his disappointment.
You are promised to Wendy Park.
We're not quite sure what Wendy sees in him, as he never hesitates to engage in body shaming and even lies to get away from her. She soon sees through his facade and rightfully calls him out for being superficial.
This is all so you don't have to go to the dance with me, isn't it?
No, Wendy.
Because I don't look like Lydia or Kelly or Elle McPherson.
Number 5, when he used an advice hotline to meet a girl.
Well, my parents are totally too protective. They never let me stay out past 10, even on weekends.
What a drag. And judging by your voice, you probably get lots of dates.
While an episode centering on mental health would have been groundbreaking in the early 90s, Zach finds a way to ruin this too. Not only does he abuse what's meant to be an anonymous advice hotline to get a date, but his reaction upon learning that she uses a wheelchair is excruciating to watch.
You're staring.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't expect you to be, sitting.
He's consistently inappropriate and offensive, pointing out her wheelchair to anyone within earshot and acting like it's the most important thing about her. While he might have believed that he's being protective of Melissa, he actually comes across as rude, disrespectful, and completely shallow.
I want another round of applause for the real star of today's game. The only one who has to be in a wheelchair all the time, Melissa Donahue. Come on, guys.
Number 4, when he appropriated Native American culture.
You know, I bet this Indian could be my ancestor. And it's perfect for my family tree presentation.
This episode made headlines when Mark Paul Gosselaar apologized for its racist content. While working on a family tree project, Zach discovers he has Native American roots. Presenting his findings to the class, he manages to turn a rich heritage into a caricature, complete with war paint and broken English. Only his teacher seems to call out how offensive this is, although maybe she should have also advised him that wearing a Native American costume was not appropriate either.
What you did was disrespectful to the class and to your ancestors.
This whole concept should have probably been left on the cutting room floor.
Before this project, I knew nothing about my heritage. I didn't even care.
Number 3, when he drove drunk.
That's right. I'll drive.
You sure you're okay, Preppy?
You kidding? I'm fine.
Serving as a PSA on the dangers of drinking and driving, the gang tries to cover up the damage when Zach crashes Lisa's mom's car on the way home from a party. While Screech would have been the logical choice for a designated driver, Zach decides to get behind the wheel and then convinces his friends to lie about the accident.
Come on, stay cool. Look, your mom never has to know. We'll leave the car in my garage so none of your neighbors will see Slater fixing it.
While the guilt weighs heavily on the others, Zach goes to all lengths to avoid taking any responsibility, although even he eventually realizes that he can't keep lying forever. This is one of the few occasions where Zach truly does learn his lesson.
You realize what could have happened to you and your friends out there? You could have been killed. You could have killed somebody else.
Guess it was pretty stupid.
Stupid, yeah. Oh, yeah, it was pretty darn stupid.
Number 2, when he helped Lisa pay off her credit card bill.
I cannot believe her father gave her his credit card to go to the mall.
I know. It's like letting a vampire loose in a blood bank.
As a reward for making the honor roll, Lisa's dad loans her his credit card, but she goes a tad overboard, raking up a bill of almost $400. She ignores Jesse and Kelly's completely reasonable advice and instead turns to Zach for help. And as we know, he just can't resist an old get-rich-quick scheme.
Hey, Lisa, just sit down, look pretty, and trust me.
As if auctioning off her clothes isn't degrading enough, he also holds a raffle where the grand prize is a kiss with Lisa, without her consent. To add insult to injury, when she tells him that she feels cheap, his response is far from comforting.
Hey, Lisa, I thought you wanted to kiss your debt goodbye.
Not with my lips. I feel so cheap.
Lisa, you're not cheap. Made $36.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions. When he ignored Jessie in her time of need. Perhaps if he'd cared sooner, Jessie wouldn't have been so scared.
She's been taking caffeine pills to stay up all night cramming. I think she's hooked on them.
Look, they're probably vitamins. Come on, Jesse's too smart to take drugs.
Zach.
She's my friend, all right? I'm not gonna listen to this.
When he caused Slater to crash during driver's ed, a jealous Zach didn't anticipate that Kelly would also be in the vehicle.
This whole thing was my idea. I was jealous that Slater was gonna get his license before me, so I set him up to get kicked out of driver's ed.
When he took photos of the girls without their consent, in their swimwear no less.
It was a good idea to get business, but you had no right to do this.
This calendar is exploitive and cheap.
Hey, it's not cheap. It's $5.
When he used subliminal messaging to manipulate girls. After they find out, they exact their revenge.
Hey, Screech, did you give out the tapes with the hidden messages?
Yeah, I gave one to every dork, nerd, and geek at Bayside to use on their dream girls.
When he dumped Kelly for the school nurse. To make matters worse, he had just asked Kelly to go steady.
I'm in love with a new school nurse.
You pig. How is Kelly gonna feel when you dump her for some flu shot floozy?
Hold on.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. When he framed Slater. After Lisa rejects Zach's offer to help her win a beauty pageant, Screech becomes the unlucky subject of a bet between him and Slater.
I bet you I could take anyone and make them the next Miss Bayside.
All right, it's a bet.
Screech feels dejected as he's forced to compete against his friends. A pep talk from his robot only makes matters worse. Zach decides to spread a rumor that Slater is responsible for Screech's shiner, to win sympathy votes while turning the whole school against his so-called friend.
Slater gave Screech a black eye?
You're kidding! Slater gave Screech a black eye?
With no thanks to Zach, Screech wins the crown, but suddenly winning the bet doesn't feel quite right. Could Zach have suddenly developed a moral compass? Just kidding, as if.
Keep your money. Wasn't a fair fight. I started a rumor that you gave Screech that black eye.
What? Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Ms. Mojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.